and all of the things that I have researched the past 4 years of my life. Hi guys, my name is Jessica Medley, and if you didn't know, I am obsessed with the musical Anastasia. So I am currently a senior at the University of Central Florida, and for our senior showcase project, we are doing a Dream Roles concert. And so in this Dream Roles concert, we get to pick a role that we could foreseeably play in the next 5 to 10 years. The obvious choice for me, of course, was Anya and Anastasia. So not only are we doing a concert of this, we're also doing an essay that I already wrote, and then we also have to do a video project, which is what this is. Hello Tara, hi, what's up? So my teacher is actually watching this video, but I thought I would make it in kind of a YouTube format so that not only you guys could watch it, but also my teacher, and also because I feel comfortable filming YouTube videos, which is not something I thought it would happen, but here we are. So if you guys want to know more about the musical Anastasia and all of the things that I have researched the past 4 years of my life, stay tuned. So the story of Anastasia began about 100 years ago, actually exactly 100 years ago, in a communist-controlled Russia. So at the time in 1918, there was an attack on the Romanov family by the Bolsheviks, and the Bolsheviks were the group kind of opposite of the Romanovs and the imperial family in the civil war that was happening in Russia at the time. So the Bolsheviks came into the palace and actually murdered the entire family, but the one caveat to this is that they were not able to find the bodies of Anastasia and I believe one other sibling. So because of this, a lot of people actually pretended to be Anastasia. They impersonated her. More recently, in the 1970s and the 1980s, there were a lot of cases where people were coming forward saying that they were actually Anastasia and that they remembered all of the things that had happened and that they had just been hiding for years. None of them were able to be proven, especially in about 2007 when they discovered the remains of Anastasia as well as the other sibling in an unmarked grave. And so because of the communist rule, they weren't able to figure out where they had been buried at the time. So because of the new modern technologies and the DNA testing, they were able to prove that they had found Anastasia. But before all of this happened, in 1997, a musical animated feature movie from 20th Century Fox came out entitled Anastasia and told the story of a girl with amnesia. Her name is Anya, and she's kind of going through life wondering what there is, wondering who is out there for her, and not realizing that she is a lost princess. So that movie was actually a huge hit in the early 2000s as well as kind of into now, which is why the musical is really prevalent. So the first reading for the stage musical happened in 2012. In 2016, it opened at the Hartford stage in Hartford, Connecticut in previews, and in 2017, Anastasia opened on Broadway. So from preview to Broadway, Christy Altomare as well as Derek Klena, who played Anya and Dimitri respectively, stuck with the cast the entire time. Christy Altomare is actually still with the cast performing on Broadway, whereas Derek Klena has gone and done something else great because he's amazing. So going into a little bit about who Anastasia is as a person, she was born June 18th of 1901. Her official title is Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna of Russia. I think I said that right. And she was the youngest daughter of the last family of imperial rulers of Russia. So she had 4 sisters that were older than her and 1 brother that was younger than her, Alexei, who was her best friend. And so to reiterate, in 1918 was when the Bolsheviks attacked and the entire family was murdered, although we didn't know that the entire family was murdered until like 2007. So we can still live in a happy moment, right? Please? So a major conflict that takes place in the musical Anastasia is the communist rule. Anya is a street worker who has amnesia, who is trying to get through life. Life is really hard for Russians right now. There's not a lot of food. A lot of people are struggling to find work. They're not getting paid a lot. A lot of people are very poor, and there are really harsh constraints on them politically and societally in their social lives. And so a lot of Russians are looking out for themselves and nobody else because that's all they can look out for. So because of this, Anya is a fearless, very determined force to be reckoned with. So as she's working as a street sweeper, she hears news about the fact that they are holding auditions at the old Yusupov Palace looking for the next Anastasia. And so the Dowager Empress, who is currently living in Paris, has requested that there be a search held to find her granddaughter because she has also heard rumors that she might be alive, so she's like, please, I want to find my family. So 2 con men, Vlad and Dmitri, are holding auditions to see if they can find Anastasia, because if they find her or they find someone who is able to pass as her, then they get a lot of money and a lot of fame, and it's good for them because they're poor. So Anya's main objective throughout the entire show is to discover who she is. So when she hears about the opportunity of Vlad and Dmitri taking someone to Paris to, yes, impersonate somebody, but also to get to Paris, which is the one thing that she's always wanted, she jumps at the opportunity. She has amnesia, she doesn't know who she is, but she does know that she needs to get to Paris, and so she's gonna do anything to do that. So on her way to Paris, she sings a song called Journey to the Past, which is one of the songs that I will be singing in my dream role. And Journey to the Past is kind of an inner monologue of her thoughts as she's leaving Russia, going on this new adventure. She is scared, she doesn't know what's going to happen, but she knows that there's an inner voice in her head telling her to meet somebody in Paris. So she goes and she takes one foot in front of the other and she makes it there. And obviously honestly, things work out. So the other song that I'm doing in my dream role is In a Crowd of Thousands, and that happens with Dimitri. So Anya wakes up screaming. They're in Paris already. Dimitri runs in. He's like, Anya, what's wrong? And he tries to comfort her by telling her a story about when he actually saw Anastasia when she was a young girl. So Dimitri is telling a story and encourages Anya to jump aboard as well to kind of lighten the mood and make her feel a little bit better. So she begins to tell this story of things that she's making up. And as the song progresses, she realizes that she's not making them up anymore. She realizes that they're actually memories. And by the end of the song, they both realize that she is actually the long-lost Princess Anastasia. So in regards to vocal techniques for Anya, I am going to be using a system called Estel to describe things. If you guys don't know what Estel is, it's fine. I'll make this segment a little bit shorter, but just gotta put it in for the project. Hi, Tara. So I see Anya is using a lot of thin folds throughout the entire piece, as well as adding a little bit of sob in through a lot of it. She is young, she is naive, she is like a princess figure, but she's also really passionate, she's really fierce, and she is just feisty and very powerful. So adding in a little bit of that sob quality during it, I think adds to her like oomph, and it gives her a little bit more presence, which I think she definitely has. She's also a very anchored character, and I think not only does she use this in her vocal technique, but she also uses this as a way to kind of anchor herself to the present. So she doesn't have any memories of the past, she doesn't know what her future holds, but she does have the present moment, and I think that's really admirable about a character because she is constantly anchored to the present moment because she doesn't have anything else. So I think that translates both metaphorically to her vocal choices, but as well to her stance and how she views the world around her. So Anya is not only an ingenue, but she's also a leading lady, which is kind of a cool mix. So there are a lot of Disney princesses who also fit into this category. I see Ariel as well as Belle fitting into this category as for Disney musicals. In addition, the vocal types are very similar to Jerusha from Daddy Longlegs as well as Sophie from Mamma Mia, both roles that Christy Altomare has actually already played. And I consider myself very like in type 2 Christy Altomare. She was actually the first Wendla on the Spring Awakening National Tour for the United States. I actually just got done playing Wendla, which was really, really cool. I think that she is a type that I can kind of follow after and pick things from that she's already done, because then I know like what my type is, if that makes sense. In addition, Anastasia, like her actual self, if she was alive in 1927, would be about the age that I am now. So it's fitting. So Anya is a wonderfully complex character full of determination and passion. She knows what she wants, but she's also a kind person and she's always willing to help somebody out, and I just admire her so much. I'm so thankful that my senior showcase actually gets to be a show that I love so much, and I get to perform songs that I love listening to, that I love singing, and it's just a good all-around time. And I also graduate a month from today, so we're just gonna put that out there. So I hope this is not my last time seeing the character Anya and Anastasia. I hope that one day I really do get to play her. That's kind of the whole point of this video and this Dream Rolls concert, is that one day we do enough research now that when we are able to audition for the show, we can kind of like book it because we already know so much about it. That's kind of the idea. That's what I hope happens, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. So thank you guys for watching my school project, and I'm gonna wear this shirt the rest of the day. So it's a good day already. Bye! Horses prance through